Hi, my name is Caitlin, and I'm a first-year medical student here at the University of Louisville. I'm here today to talk to you about percent daily value. So percent daily value refers to the amount of something we're getting by eating one serving of that food. So there are some things in our food that we want to eat a lot of because they help keep us healthy and help us grow strong. And those things are called nutrients. And examples of nutrients are calcium, fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, and iron. Whereas there are some other parts of our food that aren't quite as healthy for us, and we don't want to eat a lot of those. We want to limit our intake. And some of those things are fat, cholesterol, sodium, which is just a fancy way of saying salt, and sugar. So if we look over here at the nutrition label, we'll walk through together how you can find the percent daily value for all of those things that we just talked about. So just like you guys practiced before, we'll start at the top. And so for this box of mac and cheese, we can see that one serving is 1 cup, and that in this box, there are 2 servings per box. And so for every 1 cup serving that you have, you're going to be getting 250 calories. If you look down here, we can begin to see, okay, here's our fat, our cholesterol, our sodium, which, as we just talked about, we want to limit how much of those we eat. And if we keep working our way down, we'll see fiber, and then these nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron. So that doesn't tell us much, right? That just tells us what is there. So now we want to look at, okay, how much of these things are in my food that I'm about to eat. So that's when you go all the way over to this right side and you get to see percent daily value. So remember, with these things like fat and cholesterol and sodium, they're not very good for our health. They put us at risk for getting diabetes and heart disease. So we want these percent daily value numbers to be as low as possible. So if we're looking here, like 18, 15, 20%, that's kind of a lot. That's pretty high. So we want to make sure we're not eating too much because it's not healthy for us. And if we go down farther, we can see, okay, there's no fiber, which remember, fiber is a good nutrient, something our body needs a lot of. There's a little bit of vitamin A, a little bit of calcium, or vitamin C, and then there's 20% of our daily intake of calcium, which is better. But again, this isn't great because there's not a lot of the good stuff or the really healthy stuff, and there's kind of a lot of the not so healthy stuff. So before we do some more practice with different foods, let's talk about what nutrients are and why we need them. Why are they healthy for us? Why are they good? So the nutrient calcium is really good for building strong bones and keeping us nice and tall and preventing our bones from breaking. Fiber is good for your digestive tract, and it helps keep everything moving and keeps your tummy happy. Vitamin A is good for eyesight and healthy teeth. Vitamin C is good for helping fight off infections and to heal any cuts or injuries that you have. Vitamin D is good for fighting off infections and germs and keeping your bones strong. And iron helps keep your energy levels high so you're able to do all the things that you want to do in a day, which I don't know about you, but that's pretty important. So we'll start with some practice, and we'll start with milk, and we'll first look at whole milk. So if you go to the grocery store, whole milk is the one with the red cap on top. So we'll first start, okay, what is 1 serving of whole milk? And we can see that's 8 fluid ounces. And in this container, there are 2 servings. So for every 1 8 fluid ounce serving of whole milk that we have, you're going to be getting 150 calories. So if we go all the way on the bottom, we'll start to look at some of the nutrients like calcium and vitamin D. And we can see that, okay, there's 30% of our daily intake of calcium and 25% of our daily intake of vitamin D, which these are nutrients, so they're good for us, or they're very healthy for us. But if we go up higher and we look at fat, which remember is something we want to limit how much we eat, we can see there's 25%. That's kind of high for something that we want to limit. So we identify the good ones, so it's pretty high in the good ones, but it's also kind of high in the not so healthy ones. So if we're drinking milk, what are other options? Is there a healthier option? And there is. So there's something called fat-free or skim milk, which, and if you go to the grocery store, that's the one with the blue cap on it. And we'll go through one of label of those, and we can see that, okay, we have 30% of our daily intake of calcium, 25% of our intake of vitamin D, which those are good nutrients. And look, we have no fat at all, 0%. So if we're going to be drinking milk, the blue cap milk is going to be a healthier option because it has a lot of the good stuff, a lot of the healthy stuff, and not so much of the not so healthy stuff. It has no fat at all. So let's look at another snacks. We have applesauce. So we'll see that one pouch is one serving, and in one serving, we have 70 calories. If you look all at the bottom, we have potassium, which potassium is another nutrient that is good for us. And we have fiber. So we can see, okay, we have 11% of our daily intake of fiber. That's good. Remember, fiber helps keep our tummies happy and our digestive system moving. And if we go up higher to look at fat, whoop, we have no fat at all. So we have a lot of the good and none of the stuff that's not as healthy for us. So we are able to say that having an applesauce would probably be a healthy snack. And if you also come over and look at the ingredient list, you'll see that all that is in it is fruit, which we know fruit is a healthy option because it has a lot of that good stuff and not a lot of the not so good stuff. So we'll do one more together and we'll look at a bottle of Coke. So in one serving of Coke is one bottle, so you drink the whole thing, and that you're getting 200 calories. All right, so then let's go look at what's in it. So, okay, we don't have any fat, but when we go down and look at the sugar, 110%. That's a lot. That means that if you were to drink the entire bottle of Coke, you would be getting more sugar than you're supposed to drink in an entire day to stay healthy. So what are the options? Okay, we know that Coke probably isn't the healthiest option. What else? We can drink water. We can drink milk, just like we talked about before. The blue cap milk is probably the healthier option. Or if you want something sweet, we can drink fruit juice. But what's important to remember with fruit juice is that although it says fruit or has a picture of the fruit on the front, you want to flip it over and look for this sign up here where it says 100% juice. Because sometimes they'll be tricky and they'll have something in the juice called high fructose corn syrup, where high fructose corn syrup is like a really fancy way of saying extra sugar. And remember, sugar is one of those things that isn't as good for us. So we want to limit how much we consume. So if you are going to drink juice instead of a Coke or any other kind of pop, you're going to want to look to make sure that it says 100% juice on top and that the first ingredient is some form of fruit juice. So in this case, it'll be orange juice. And that's all I have for you. Thanks for listening.